everyone. We're going to look at graphing using intercepts today. And you'll use that when you see what's called standard form. If your equation looks like this, where you have like 2x and 7y equals 28, and x, a y equals a constant, then that's standard form. So we're going to find the x-intercept. Where does the graph or the line cross the x-axis? So how do we do that? Well, if you take a look and if you think about it, the x-axis is the y value is 0 all along here. So if we put a 0 in for y, we will get the x-intercept. So we have 2x equals 28, and we would x equals 14. Let's take a look at what we have here. All right. We go ahead and we place a 0 in for your y value, and you get x equals 14. Perfect. Let's take a look at the next one. What if we want to know, though, what the y-intercept is? The y-axis. Where does the line, if a line comes in, cuts off the y-axis? So what do? We put a 0 in for the x value. So it's always the opposite variable. If you want a y-intercept, make sure you sub in 0 for x. So we sub in a 0 for x. Notice that becomes 0. So 7y equals 28. And then we go ahead and divide by our 7. So divide both sides by 7, and y would have to be 4. So our x and y intercepts. The x-intercept was 14, and the y we just found is 4. And the process is, you always, if you want the y-intercept, the opposite variable is x, so put a 0 in for x. If you want the x-intercept, put a 0 in for y. All right, I would like you guys to try these three. Pause your video. Make sure you get your x-intercept and your y-intercept. Please don't just leave numbers. You need to go ahead and identify and write the word x. Oops, that doesn't look very nice. See if I can get this to show up better. Apparently, I'm writing like a kindergartner today. Intercept, and put your answer, and put y-intercept, and put your answer. Pause your video and give them a try for 1, 2, and 3. All right, let's take a look. We have 3x plus 2y. If you put a 0 in for the x, you'll get the y-intercept. Put a 0 in for the y, you get the x-intercept. Answers are 2 and 3. So, please make sure your x-intercept is 2, y-intercept is 3. In number 2, you should have been able to get an x-intercept of 2.5 and a y-intercept of -5. And for your last one, you should have been able to get an x-intercept of 5 and a y-intercept of -3. All right, and that's simply by substituting in your zeros for your x and your y. Let's take a look at another question. Graph the equation x plus 2y equals 4. It's in standard form, so your easiest method is to place zeros in. If we want to go ahead and get the x-intercept, then put a 0 in here, and that becomes 0. So you have x equals 4. And so the x-intercept is at 4. What does that mean? Let's take a look real quick. I'm going to draw a quick little graph. We go like this. That means that x at 4 on 1, I don't know why my pencil's not working so hot right now, 2, 3, 4. Your line will cross right here. Now, if you put a 0 in for your x, you get 2y equals 4, so your y-intercept is going to have to be y equals 2. So at 1, 2, it's going to cross right here on the y-axis. And then you're going to draw a line that goes right through there. And it allows you to draw your line because you have 2 points. So this point was over 4. Oh, good grief. That's my x-intercept. And the y-intercept was over 0, up 2. All right, let's take a look and have you guys see what the graph looks like when they do it. Oh, so much nicer. All right, so we have 4, 0. for your x-intercept, and 0, 2 for your y-intercept. Draw your line, and that's the equation. Of course, it's time for you to try it out. Please go ahead and find your zeros and graph this line. Pause your video. Welcome back. Let's take a look and see how you did. You should be able to get a line that looks like this. All right, so your x-intercept, because it's the x-axis, gets intercepted here, the 7, 0. Your y-intercept, because the y-axis gets intercepted right here, is 0, 6. All right, have a great evening.